Okay, so I did a little drive in on the Pacific coast here between, we call it Netarts and Pacific City. Okay, I need to give this time to render, and it was pretty scenic. I liked the appearance of it all. There are about three and a half or four spots that you could just really do some exploration and get familiar with the area and enjoy it. Um, just needs time to render here. But I was in, this is Tillamook, if I can render. And then I moved to the coast, which is Netarts. This is Netarts Bay, Netarts. And the first neat spot is about here. Okay, and you look over this strip of inlets right here. I actually made the mistake of calling it Bay Ocean, but it's not. It's Netarts Bay. Bay Ocean's up here. I guess, you know, it could be an easy thing to confuse. And then after stopping there, because that's just, you just stop off the side of the road or something and take a look at it type of thing. You have Cape Lookouts, which is 2 miles to the ends. So I did a 5-mile trek back. I didn't realize there was such a concave in there. So it's showing that this is about to break off and become what do they call those, haystack rocks, which you could see in front of Pacific City. There's this one. There's Haystack Rock, Chief Kiawanda Rock. I think that was formerly one of these. I think that was formerly a cape. There's quite a few of these haystack rocks and capes all along the Oregon coast, and a lot of cities seem to be built up along them. Another spot, you got Cape Lookout. Another nice spot is a Sand Lake Recreation. It costs a little money. It's a park here. I think they charge about $5. A lot of people, I guess, will bring out dune buggies and ride around. This is controlled by the Tillamook County. Okay, and then there's also further down the road. Yeah, you have to take a turn off a Sand Lake, and then it's kind of a little bit of a drive to get to that recreation spot. Further down Sand Lake is an island, which it's right here. Okay, this is a man-made road here, bridge type thing to go across the water. And what I find interesting about this little island, okay, it doesn't really look like an island, but it's just because of the rise and fall of the ocean. It can turn into an island for a little bit when the tide is high, and you know. This area is owned by the county, and it's also owned by the state. You want to make sure that you park if there's room. If you don't want to pay the like $4 or $5 parking fee, if you don't want to pay that, park in the state area, because this county area is going to cost you money, and they have a fence in between them. So the county owns some of it, and the state owns some of it too. It's kind of interesting how they just, and the county also has somebody that lives on this spot. There's this permanent camper right here. I was surprised, so it's not going to be easy to get away with trying to park for free on the county. And also this Sand Lake, the sandy area is owned by the county, and they have somebody permanently on it as well. So between Netarts and Pacific City, there are some really nice places that you could look at. Alright, Netarts up here, Pacific City down here. It's about 30-mile 30-minute drive or so is what it took me for almost 40 minutes, just a straight shots. But it's nice to look at, so something to check out.
Okay, so Whalen Island is kind of an odd setup here. Now, first off, I got here by this road, then took this land bridge that was man-made. One section, which I believe is this section, the Tillamook County owns and charges a day use fee of $4. But when I drove around there, and there's that guy sitting there, he's always there. So if you don't pay, if you park in that area, he'll get you, because he's living right there. Alright. But if you pull into this area, which I'm at right now, it's state owned, and therefore it's free. So that can be kind of confusing, because I found myself drawn to taking a left into the county area, and I saw that there's all, there's a pay station, and here you gotta pay and stuff. And then as I was pulling out, I decided to just pull in here, and then I see it's state. So there's state controlled, which they call it the Claymire State, and then there's the Tillamook County controlled, which actually has a park ranger living on it, who's making sure that you pay. It seems so odd. It's an island, and it's controlled by you could almost say two entities, but it's one larger entity which is free, and then a smaller one which wants that money. I'm not willing to pay, so I'll park in the state area. It's not immediately obvious. It's not immediately obvious which one is the free one and which one it costs. I was expecting to have to pay, but it's nice that the state sectioned off a parking area where you don't have to pay. But it's not easy to tell, and you can easily park in the free area and then walk over to the pay area. It's just a matter of finding enough room, because there's fewer parking spots in the state area. But this is the oddest setup I've ever seen that works with both state and county. So this is a little bit of Whalen Island, lots of various vegetation. It's a well-beaten trail, wraps around the island, or at least it wraps around the areas that are above water for the most part. They want to maintain a distance between the high tide portion. So if it's low tide, it could look like there's a lot of land mass still separating the trail from the ocean or the slough or something. It's really, you can hear the ocean in the background. You can see it's a lot of year-round green. Even in January, it's pretty green. So it can get even more green in the spring and summer. I'm not sure where exactly. It just doesn't look like there's any obvious plants that even bother to lose leaves. Salal is out here. I can identify that one. And then I know this one. Forget the name of it though. It's got a berry that's supposed to be edible, but the berry just makes me dizzy instead. The moss is green. It's pine. I know the name of those pines too. Possibly the ponderosa pine. This all looks like new growth, and like I mentioned in the car ride, there was that pioneer who tried to just clear a little brush and turn into a huge forest fire. His forest fire could have reached Whalen Island and burnt up any old growth that was out here. It's hard to say. makes me wonder what the old growth would have looked like. But after seeing some big fallen trees in Bay Ocean, I can imagine that there were some pretty thick trees that were out here at one time, just before the settlers came. But the vegetation's coming back. It'll take a long time before the trees are huge, but the vegetation has certainly come back. And it looks like quite a few people take this trail, because I've been on trails where you barely see the trail, but this one it's kind of wide even. I'm not running into any plants on the trail, whereas there's some trails like just north of Ocean Park in Washington. It was just like walking right through the woods, like there was no trail, but there was a hint of a trail. This is certainly not just a hint of a trail. And it looks nice this morning. It's good weather. It's maybe in the low 50s or so. It's definitely not freezing. It rained a lot the past couple of days, so things are kind of wet. But yeah, I think it's a nice day. The sun really hasn't broken, so as you can see, it's kind of dark out. It's kind of early, 8 a.m. But yeah, it's really peaceful. I feel like I'm getting a connection too. Like I started out in my walk, I felt a little disoriented and dizzy, but that dizziness is now cleared. And I think maybe just staring at a computer screen and just sitting in the city, there's different energy vibes there, and you have to readjust when you walk through wooded areas. I'm smelling some car exhaust over here. It seems like car exhaust, but I know there shouldn't be any vehicles too close. It'd be across the bay, or some kind of egg smell. Yeah, it's a pretty nice trail. Okay, so this is more Whalen Island. They got the ocean. You can see all the wave action straight ahead, and there's some other kind of peninsula over there. I'm still on the island, and I'd have to go on to the mainland to get over to that peninsula. I'm just on the shore. The shore is pretty easy to navigate. I walked by a couple of people this morning already, so it's got a fairly good amount of traffic. In fact, there's human tracks heading the way I was going. So it's just a nice, somewhat peaceful area. I mean, at least the people who come out here you're gonna have to expect them to be peaceful and not look for parties. So you got that in your favor. I think it's low tide. Pretty sure it's low tide. At least high tide would reach up to here. Okay, so I'd be hugging the coast if it was high tide, but the water looks like it's far out there, so it's a morning low tide. Okay, so I'm in the Sand Lake area, but they want to charge money to park over there. Said as a fee area, and I'm not interested in paying a dime. And there is also a guy like camped out there, like in a RV, so that's just not something I'm willing to pay. Okay, it looks like there's another pay station. I'm not interested in paying that, so not a chance. It's a big open area. Mufflers must meet a noise emission standard of 97 decibels. Self-service pay station. Yeah, see, I'm not gonna pay that. That's no way. $5? Screw that. There's a camping fee of $15, so people can camp out here. But you just, I mean, it's like if I leave my car, that's it. They're gonna ding me or something. So I'm just looking at this. It's an amazing feature that the state has just taken advantage of. It's just all sand. It's a natural feature, and they just kind of use it as, I think it's natural at least. They use it as like an RV or a place where people can drive around. But on the map you could see it. It's just a big brown area, and there's a lot of tracks. There's a lot of tracks. So it's like it may be kept brown because people are just driving up and down it. Yeah, either way, I'm not gonna pay that. So I don't know how. There's really nowhere to walk around anyway. I could probably find a place to walk around, but oh, do I have any garbage to throw away? Not really. I'd really have to take the time. Oh, I don't know. That's it. That's the tour. They want to charge $5, and I think you can camp here, so go with that. I gotta stop wasting so much gas. Okay, so Cape Lookouts, the very end is 2.5 miles down. That's a heck of a walk. I don't know if I can make that, just due to my impatience. I'd love to take my bicycle, then it'd be no problem, but they're prohibiting bicycles, and this looks like a great bicycle trail. But I'm just a little nervous about risking that and having a park ranger come by and spank me. But the view is incredible walking here. If I fell down this cliff face, I'd probably fall a half a mile down into then hit the ocean. It is so steep. I mean, my ears pop driving up here. Although this is the second time now I'm going up this hill or mountain, and I went a little slower, so it didn't affect me as badly. This is a nice wide trail and a spectacular view. I'm very, very interested in seeing the end, but I shouldn't expect to see much. But I just, being able to look down on the ocean and it being so far away and me being so high above it, it really motivates me to want to get to the end. This would be a perfect running trail, just because it's like just different. I guess you're above everything pretty much. You still got more hill, more mountain above you, but you're above most of everything. You're at quite a high elevation looking down, and plus it's a clear trail. If I didn't have so many loose things on me, I'd try to run it a little bit. But looks like these trees are a little older growth. They've been around for a while. Yeah, really neat trail. It's just incredibly long to get to the end. Yeah, the view is pretty incredible out here on Cape Lookout. You can see this vast beach, and I'm not even a mile beyond, so I should get to an even better distance view of the beach at the end of the cape. But you probably have to walk maybe like a mile, less than a mile down before you can get this nice open area to really take in the the beach from more of the ocean view. Beach and the land and stuff. And you can see that haystack rock that's at Pacific City. I thought I drove further from it, but it is pretty small. And there's a lot of fog around it. A lot of mist. But yeah, here's everything. Oh, I got something about August 43, 4-motored Army Air Force plane crashed 500 feet west of here. So in the water. Marker erected, the Oregon State Commission in commemoration of the members of this flight. There was one survivor, and that was a bombardier. Okay. So out in the water, it sounds like. What did they say? Yeah. So out in the water, if we were here on that day and time, we'd have watched a plane crash in the water in 43. Huh. Yeah, it's quite a majestic view. Just looking down. It's quite a cape. A cape that's working on turning into one of them haystack rocks, I'm guessing. I'm thinking that haystack rock used to be a cape like this at one time until the ocean tore it up. I got lots of walking to go to get to the end here. Okay, so from here Netarts is visible. You can see those 3 haystack type rocks standing out on the water. They're familiar, but a little further in, you can see this huge tall wall of rock that meets the water. It meets the Pacific Ocean, and the Pacific's beating up on some more rocks down below. Pretty high up elevation wise, and it's just a lot of walking, a lot of exercise. I think the they rated the difficulty level as medium or kind of high. This right here with all these roots and rocks and stuff to walk on, this would certainly raise the difficulty level. Some weird sounds. Okay, so it looks like I reached more of a clearing. You can see the land's base over there and Haystack Rock, which is right in front of Pacific City. There's a boat. Looks like probably a trolley fishing. I got the, what do they call this place again? Peninsula? Well, just on this piece of land. I'm getting close to the end, the very tip of Oregon that stretches out into the Pacific. Very dizzying heights looking down. I mean, I'm above full-grown, fairly full-grown 50-foot trees. I'm above the ones that are down there. And it's something else. Past a retired couple, they made it to the end, so I mean it's not that much of a challenge. Quite a view. I could go for a bit of a rest, yeah, like lay down in that grass below or just relax and rest, because this is a 5-mile walk pretty much, and it's not exactly a straightaway walk. See, quite a few people seem to really come back here. This trail is well walked on. There's all kinds of footprints over here, so there's plenty of people who are willing to make the trek. Really seems like it's well worth it too. But yeah, after all these days of rain, this is pretty muddy. In the summertime, most likely it's nice and dry. But right now it's pretty muddy. So I'm approaching the end. Just kind of overlooking everything. But yeah, it's really spectacular. Okay, this is the end of Cape Lookout, 2.5-mile walk. They were nice enough to put a bench here and some kind of fencing so you don't get too close to the edge and fall over. And the waves are pretty quiet. They're definitely loud on the main landmass, but yeah, they don't make a lot of noise out here. This is pretty far out into the ocean. There's a little spot down by Pacific City that stretches out. This stretches out into the ocean pretty good. Not sure if it's the longest, but it's pretty long. So that's it. So this little spot's looking over Bay Ocean, the city that used to be. It's I think it's Bay Ocean. Looks like a peninsula to me. It's just I'm not seeing the road that really gets in there. But it's around there somewhere. Quite a spectacular view. It's just as you're going up this road to the Cape, the scenic Cape spot, Cape Lookout. There it goes. So that's it. I parked down here because I kind of missed the spot. You have to come up here to get that view because you can't see it down below.